Hi, we're going to read about forces in motion and magnets. So, first, we're going to read about the magnets, and then you're going to have a little game with some questions. So, we're going to read this, and then you'll get to play the little game. All right, so follow along with me. I'm going to zoom in with the magnifying glass so we can see a little better. Let's see. All right. What happens when two magnets come close to each other and you can feel them repel? How are the poles oriented? Oriented means which way they're facing. Do the magnets repel when two south poles come together? Do the magnets repel when two north poles come together? Or do they repel when one south pole and one north pole come together? Here are four pairs of magnets being held together. Which ones will push apart when they are released? So these hands are making them stay together. When the hands go away, what is going to happen to these magnets? Will they pull themselves together or will they repel or push apart? So repel means push apart. So this one has south-north. This one has north-north. This one has north-south. And this one has south-south. So before we keep reading, think, what's going to happen? Are they going to pull together, attract, or push apart, repel? This is what happens when the magnets are released. The two pairs of magnets on the left, that's this side, will attract each other. The two pairs of magnets on the right will repel each other. So here they are, north-south together, north-south together, north-north apart, south-south apart. Two north poles always repel each other. Two south poles always repel each other. So we can state a general rule. Like poles repel. A north pole and a south pole always attract each other. It doesn't matter which magnet has the north pole and which has the south pole. We can state another general rule. Opposites attract. All right, up to the top. So here's another picture. It says, using iron fillings, you can see magnetic fields around magnets. Magnetic force. Magnetism is a force. A force is a push or a pull. You can feel the magnetic force when you pull two attracting magnets apart. In the same way, you can feel the magnetic force when you push two repelling magnets together. The force of magnetism is what makes magnets act the way they do. How magnets stick to iron. If opposite poles attract, why does a magnet stick to a piece of iron? Magnetism extends out from a magnet in an invisible area called a magnetic field. So in an area where we can't see, like our eyes can't see it, magnets are putting out their like magnetism. When a magnet comes close to a piece of iron, such as a steel nail, like what you hit with a hammer, the magnetic field interacts with the iron in the nail. The nail becomes a temporary magnet. So a nail isn't always a magnet, it's just a magnet when it's near a magnetic field. The end of the nail becomes one pole of a magnet. The magnet then sticks to the temporary magnet. So magnets don't really stick to iron, magnets stick to other magnets. The magnetism in the iron is called induced magnetism. Induced magnetism happens only when a magnet is close by. If you bring the south pole of a magnet close to the head of a nail, what pole will the head of the nail become? Just apply the same rule. Opposites attract. The nail will become the north pole. All right, next page. So here's a big map. Let's see what it says. Person, and it looks like they're holding some kind of rock. All right, the first magnets. The first magnets were pieces of naturally occurring mineral called magnetite. Magnetite sticks to magnets because it contains a lot of iron. The black rock in your set of test objects is magnetite. When magnetite is by itself, it is called lodestone. So here's a picture of the magnetite rock. And here's a picture of the lodestone that was in Magnesia. Legend has it that shepherds found bits of rock sticking to the iron nails in their sandals more than 2,000 years ago. One area rich with lodestone was part of present-day Turkey. Turkey's a country, like the United States, China, Vietnam, Mexico. Those are all countries. Turkey's also a country. This region was called Magnesia. The word magnet may come from the name of its ancient region. So, magnet comes from the name of the place where it was found, which is Magnesia. Magnetite is also found in a number of locations in the United States. Some of the major sources are shown on the map below. You can find major magnetite sources close to where you live. So here we are, we're in this red Kentucky. So we can find magnetite in Arkansas, which is another state. We can find it in New York. We can find it in Minnesota. And if we want to go really far, we can find it in Utah. Let's see. None in Alaska and Hawaii. All right. And then one more part to read, and then we'll do the game. Reviewing magnets. Magnets are objects that stick to iron and steel. All magnets have two poles, a north pole and a south pole. Like poles repel, opposite poles attract.